Hi, boys and girls. I hope you guys are having a great day. I know this is super strange for all of us. We're all at home and we're having to do some stories and some learning from home. I know it feels strange, but hopefully we won't be out very long from school and we'll be back before you know it. Okay, so I'm going to read today Snowman Magic. And the author, remember the author is the person who writes the what? The words, right? Author writes the words. Illustrator draws pictures, right? The pictures. So the author's Catherine Teagan and the illustrator is Brandon Dorman. Snowman Magic. What does snowman start with? Let's look at the word snowman. When I say it starts, it means the very first letter. Let's sound it out. Snowman. What letter is that? S, right? Starts with S, snowman, and then ends with the very last letter on snowman is N, right? Snowman. Those are some letters, right? Sometimes that's fun to be able to pick out some letters in a book. On the front of the book, you can point to a letter and see if you can remember what it is. It had been snowing all day. Snowing. George was bored. There was no school, so he needed something to do. He kept looking out the window. Would it ever stop? The next morning, the sun was shining. When George looked out the window, everything was a brilliant white. The snow was bright. It was almost hard to look at. But if he squinted, squinting, remember, means you can go like this when you're looking up, your eyes squint. That's what squinting means, to be able to see outside when it's bright. He could see it was very deep, and it had drifted high against the slope in his backyard. Look at those two birds. What kind of birds are those? Remember, we talked about this. Red birds. When we see a red bird outside, it's a what? Cardinal, right? It's a cardinal. George put on his warm socks, his snow pants, his flannel shirt, and then he put on his snow jacket, his boots, his mittens, and his hat. He was ready. Just like how we get ready when we go outside. Remember, what's the first thing we put on? Our snow pants, right? Then our boots. Then what? Jacket. Then hat. And what comes last? Because you need your hands for everything, right? So your hands come last. So your hat and your mittens or gloves come last. Outside, the air smelled clean and cold. George plunged into the snow. It was fluffy but crunchy too. He made a snowball and threw it against a tree. It was very, very quiet. Snow is very quiet. That's why when it's snowing outside, we can't even hear. You can't hear the snow dropping and coming from the sky, right? But when it rains, we can hear the rain. George took some snow and he packed it into a small ball. Then he started rolling the ball in the snow. It got bigger and bigger. And when the ball got too heavy to roll, he stopped rolling near the bottom of the slope. And then he started rolling a medium-sized ball. And then he put it on top of the big ball. See? One's bigger, right? The bottom one's always the bigger one, then medium. And then what comes on the top? If you're making a snowman, what size ball comes on the top? Big or little? Little, right? A small ball goes on the top for the head. So it goes in order from big to medium to small. George went inside the house and he found a scarf in the closet and a carrot in the refrigerator. In the old days, his mother had told him that people used to use pieces of coal and use them to make the eyes. But there wasn't any coal in George's house, so he found 2 buttons and brought them outside with the scarf and the carrot. He carefully pushed the buttons into the small ball near the top, and he stuck the carrot in the center, and he found a few small twigs to use to make a mouth. He wrapped the scarf between the top ball and the middle ball, and then he found 2 branches to stick into the sides of the middle ball. It was the perfect snowman. George turned his head, and he thought he saw the snowman smiling at him. Could it be? That's silly, right? Do you think he's going to come to life? Do snowmen really come to life? Can they really talk to us and smile at us? No, right? But it's just a story, right? It's make pretend. It's fiction. Time for a snack, said George. He went inside the house and got 2 mugs of hot chocolate and some cookies. He put them on a snow table. Would you like something to eat? George asked. Oh, I can't drink hot chocolate, the snowman said, but a cookie would be nice. It was magic. Why can't the snowman drink hot chocolate? what would happen? Just like in the book Sneezy the Snowman, remember what we read at school? What would happen if he drank hot chocolate? He would what? Melt, right? He would melt because it's too hot. After their snack, George made a cave tunneling deep into the slope, and he piled up snowballs at the entrance. Then he threw a couple at the snowman. The snowman made some snowballs and threw them back at George. His long branch arms helped him throw the snowballs very far. It was hard to say who won the fight, but it was still fun. The snowman chased George around the yard, and then George chased the snowman. The snowman couldn't move that fast, so it was easy for George to sneak up on him. I want a snowman that I build that chases me. That would be fun, right? It's like making your own friend. It was starting to get dark. George didn't want to go inside, but his mother was calling him. "Goodbye, snowman," he said. "I'll see you tomorrow." George thought he heard the snowman say, "Good night." The next day it was brighter and warmer, and the sun was even brighter, and the snowman was shrinking. George played with him all day, but he could tell the snowman didn't have quite the same energy. Why? Why do you think, if it's brighter and warmer outside, what do you think's happening to him? Do you think he's melting a little? Remember, we talked about that. Even though it's sunny outside, it can still be cold. The air needs to be warm for things to melt, right? Then it was Monday. George had to go to school. It was another bright, warm day. And when he came home, the snowman was almost gone. The scarf, the carrot, the buttons, they had slid down, and he could barely recognize his snowman. The cave had collapsed too, and the snow table had melted. You know what? Look at George. He doesn't have a what on? What do we have outside in winter? What do we wear? Coats, right? And hats. It's usually pretty chilly. He doesn't even have a coat on, so it must have been quite a warm day. The next morning, George looked out the window. It was snowing, 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 and he couldn't wait. Look at George's face. Is he happy, sad, excited? He looks very excited, doesn't he? To build his snowman again. The end. I wonder what they'll do on the next day. Maybe they'll go ice skating and the snowman can slide on the ice. I hope you boys have a great day and you do some fun things today. I know it's strange to be home and do something, but you can do some things with your packet, or you could go outside and play. I don't know if there's enough snow outside, at least at my house, to make a snowman. It's pretty hard, crunchy snow. But you could play outside and do other things too, okay? I hope you guys have a great day, and I can't wait to get back to school and see you all soon. Bye.